Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while. Sorry, this is my mic. Sorry guys, I forgot that this is my mic. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while. It's been a long time. I know I have not released a video in a while. In my defense, I had a lot of things that I was doing in life, and to be honest, I just wasn't feeling YouTube. Now I think I don't know if I'm back, but this video is important to put out. I hope you guys have been good. If you have my personal number, you know that I've been a content creator on WhatsApp, which is so uncool because I can just be a content creator on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, why WhatsApp, I don't know, but I'm there, so you can catch me there. Anyways, today I'm going to be telling you guys how I got chartered at age 18. Yes, you heard me right. Probably saw my news on the internet, and most likely did not. If you did not, this is me blowing my whistle or whatever. I got chartered at 18 years old. How did that happen? How did I do it? So this video is primarily going to be sharing tips on how I balanced my academics, because I got chartered in 300 level at 18. Now I'm in final year, so it's basically I'm just going to be sharing how I balanced ICANN and school, how I passed my ICANN stages, especially skills and professional, for 8 years. Maybe I'm going to make another video later, because since you guys are written your exam by the time you'll be seeing this video, but this is mostly focused on skills and professional. I started my ICANN when I was 15 years old. At this point I'd gotten admission into the university, but there was strikes, so I'm like, okay, let me start my ICANN. And I was also writing WAEC at the time. I know, like, what I just said is weird because I'd already gotten admission. Why was I writing WAEC? That's a story for another day. It's not, I had already gotten admission, but I was writing WAEC at the time that I started my ICANN because I had to write WAEC, because before you can graduate from my school, I had to write WAEC, and I didn't want to graduate. Long story. But I was writing WAEC at that time, and I didn't care so much because I already had my admission with my NECO. So I started my ICANN classes in June, and I just clocked 15. So that's how many years ago? I started my ICANN when I was 15, and I remember when I was starting, I heard that the youngest at that time was age 18. Person that had been chartered, like the youngest chartered accountant at that period, was 18. I was like, oh my god, I want to be the record. I'm going to be chartered at 17, because you know ICANN takes 2.5 years if you start from 8 years. Each stage, 5 stages, one stage is 6 months. So I was like, okay, I want to, you know, yeah. I want to be chartered at 17. In 2.5 years I'm still going to be 17, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to be done. Well, life happened. Well, I got chartered at 18. What happened is that I failed for the first time in my life in my skills. So I passed my ATS1, ATS2, ATS3 in one sitting. I became an 880, that's Associate of Accounting Technician, at 16. I was also one of the youngest at that time, if not the youngest, AAT. I became an 80 at 16. So it was now time to dive into what we call the real ICANN. Now, at this point of skills, I was in 200 level when I was writing my skills. I'm studying economics in school, University of Ilorin, and I had heard a lot about skills, about how hard skills was. But because I had cleared all my ATS1, ATS2, ATS3 in one sitting, I'm just like, it can't be that hard. But then also the other part of me was like, oh my god, everybody that I surrounded myself with started talking about how nobody passes skills at once, you have to ref, it's very hard, blah 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 blah, and all those type of things. I was just hearing a lot of things, and I allowed these things to get really into my head. Now at this point of skills, I was also really busy. I was doing like 100 things with my life. See, I don't understand the kind of person I am. I understand, actually. I don't like to be idle, so I'm always finding like things to do. I'm just always doing something, like something that makes sense. Actually, I don't do senseless stuff. Something that makes sense. Now at this point, I was supposed to drop the things that made sense to actually just focus on my skills and pass it at once. But I was very like, I can't be, you know, drop these things. I have to be doing it. I remember the first skills class that we had. The owner of my ICANN center came to the class and was telling us that, oh, you cannot be doing skills and be going to church 5 times a week. And in my mind I was like, you are a hater. I will go. I'm gonna go to church every day, and I'm still gonna pass the skills. I'm gonna do everything I want to do, and I'm still gonna pass the skills. I'm gonna run this, I'm gonna run this, and I'm still gonna pass the skills. Jokes on who? Me. Just on me when my results came out, and I failed 2 out of 4. I failed 2 out of 4 papers I raised in skills. And my 200 level second semester results, terrible. That's the most terrible, my most terrible results out of my whole university journey till now. When I say terrible, I like, not like I failed it. Like, honestly, it wasn't. I don't know what's terrible to you people, but I'm just going to give a clue in this video. I did not have my first C until 300 level. But when I say terrible, it was like, most likely you're not seeing easy, just B. It was giving parallel B's. So terrible. And then I failed my skills. Hey, jokes on me, oh. Because guess what, guys? I actually went to church 5 times a week. What am I saying? Jokes on me. 6 times a week. I went to church Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Because I was just running many things. It wasn't just that I was doing. No. I had so many things that I was doing at the same time. If I knew, I would have listened to my, do you know my icon center? He was right. He was very right too. Okay, so when I saw my results like this and I failed, I was like, oh my god. I checked with like 10 other people's phones that day. It cannot be me. Even if I want to fail, God, 1 is failure. Why am I failing 2 out of 4? This was my first time failing in my entire life. It wasn't just in icon, like failing academically. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so dumb, I'm so useless. God, it was such a tough season. I cried, I called my mommy. I said, mommy, I failed. I don't know what happened, bro. I know what happened. You didn't put your all into it. Like, oh, I just did not everything I could feel. My mom is like, you are just, how old was I? 17? No, I was actually 16. I was actually 16 when I wrote my skills. I was like, you are just 16. Do you know how many people I've praying. Oh my, I can't remember what she said again. Do. So this was May, because my birthday is in June. I wrote it in May. I was just 16, so I now rewrote in November before I wrote my professional in May. At the time my professional results was coming out in June, I was already 18, if that makes sense. So my mommy encouraged me, gingered me. I stopped crying, I wiped my tears. Then I sat down with God. I'm a believer. I went to God and I was like, God, I failed, man. This is hard stuff, you know. And God was like, bro, let's talk about this thing, though. Because I mean, apart from the fact that there's like the spiritual angle to it, I had to go through failure once in my life. God was also like, bro, you know there were definitely some things you didn't do right. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I know. I sat down. I was not even in this journal. No, I don't think it was this journal. It was my former journal. And God like started listing out the things I didn't do well. He said, first of all, I missed a lot of classes in my skills. I don't even know what I was thinking, to be honest. I missed, like, I was just not go for class. I'm just like, I'm going to read it by myself. Read skills by yourself. You have to understand that the gap between HS3 and skills is very wide. So you say that you want to read skills by yourself is nothing but a joke. I read by myself and I'll never read it by myself. And I missed a lot of classes. I was doing so many things at the same time, and so it really affected me. So if you're a skills student watching this video, the best advice I can give you is understand that the gap between ATS and skills is very wide. You are coming from a place where you used to do short answer and OBJ2 and theory, so a place where you're only doing theory. Number 1 is compulsory. If you don't know number 1, you most likely back it. So please understand the gap firstly. Secondly, try your best to give it your all. Give it your all. Like, just focus, drop almost every other thing that you can drop, and just I would say pick 2 things you're focusing on. ICAN, so for example, it can be ICAN and God at that time. God is always going to be in the equation. So if it's to remove or cancel out every other thing, just know that, okay, I'm just doing my ICAN and I'm focusing on God. Now remember that there's school inside this thing. So my school also, because of every other thing I was doing, I also didn't do well in my 200 level second semester. That period was a very hard period for me. I cried a lot. Then it was time to rewrite my 2 papers in November. Reading. Nobody talks about how hard rereading is. Well, I reread because what can I do? I reread it and I passed. how did I reread? I just really read. Like, I gave it my all, I gave it my best. I was reading it every day, I was using past questions, all the mistakes I made the last time, like not looking at things deep. I looked at it deep. I tried to understand why we were doing what we're doing. I watched YouTube video Ezicon Academy, because I read FR. Ezicon Academy, and peace out. Ezicon Academy is a plug. Oh my god, I watched all my FR calculations again. We watched it from him, and I wrote my exams and I passed. Now it was time for professional. Professional classes were starting in December. Professional is 5 papers. Now remember, I wrote 4 previously, I failed 2. 300 level was the level I was going to. 300 level they claim is the hardest level in economics. Now 300 level, the hardest level in economics, plus professional, the hardest level in ICAN, 5 papers. They say it's the hardest level, but it wasn't the hardest for me. It was simplest throughout my ATS professional. Not simplest, it was easiest. Let me put it that way, not simplest. It wasn't simple, it was just easy because I feel like I had known some things already. So let the journey started. The first day of my professional class was in December. I have a video of that first day of class. Maybe I'm gonna insert it here. I was crying because I couldn't believe I had come so far. Like, my last stage of ICAN, like, you are my last stage. I just went, I was 17. And, you know, I'm like, first of all, this is spiritual warfare. I remember I entered my room that morning and I'm like, God, the day my class was starting. Now, 300 level had resumed. I was like, God, this is not gonna shake me. I said, I'm not gonna cry one time in this journey of my professional exam. I'm not going to cry, God. Me and you are gonna do it together. Me and you are gonna be in it together, strong together. And like, okay, I'm not going to cry. I declared, I spoke in tongues, I prayed over myself, prayed over my icon, prayed over my school. I said nothing will suffer. I'm going to do excellency well in it. So I went for my icon class and I told myself, I'm not going to miss any icon class. Number 1, don't miss classes in professional. Do not miss any. Like, I think I only missed 1 class, like, and it was because I already knew it. See, don't miss any class if possible. Number 2, drop up every lesson that you're doing. Now I learned my lesson. I went to go to church on Sunday. I used to stream midweek service. I'll go to church on Sunday, and immediately after church, like this. See, I learned at that time that my worship to God at that point was passing my exam. In fact, it was obvious that God wanted me to be so done with this icon because I was taking so much time. So at that point, my worship to God was actually sitting down reading my book and making sure that I did my exam very well. And so I wasn't like, you know, trying to choke up myself with activities. I took a break on almost everything I was doing at that time. The only thing that I knew I was doing was my icon, school, and at that point I started in ministry, but that's story for another day. Maybe I'm going to do, so this video is just mainly focused on balancing icon and school, my story balancing icon and school. Maybe I'll get another video on balancing ministry and school. So I had a ministry, but my sole focus icon and school. Basically, God was always number 1. So I didn't go to church 5 times a week. I went to church just on Sundays. I left immediately and I streamed midweek services because it was important. So you don't neglect the fellowship of the brethren because of exam. You need God, you need them, you need encouragement. So my professional journey started. Now I had gotten all the tips that I could get on 300 level courses. I had asked my seniors, I had asked all the tips that, please, what can I do to make this 300 level easy for me? I picked the simplest courses. Let me tell you something. Lecturer list came out. I already picked my course. Lecturer list came out. I saw the lecturer that was teaching one of the courses that I had picked. And I was like, Blossom, we are doing icon. And everybody was like, oh, we can still do. We can still do what? I did add and drop. I picked the simple one because all I need right now is simple things. You can't kill me. Did add and drop. Changed my courses, made my courses like my 300 level courses. Because you know you have elective now. I picked the simplest elective, the ones I knew that could give me A's. And was I right? Oh boy, did they give me A's? Yes, they did. I was like, okay, let's pick this one, let's pick that one, let's pick this one, let's go. So for school now, my 300 level first semester was only clashing with icon classes, so I could still, it wasn't clashing with the exam yet. I closed to the exam, so I could, my 300 level first semester I could still read for school and only be going for icon classes, school, icon classes, school, icon classes. Now where, you know, it got hard was my 300 level second semester. Let me even tell you guys how it was. 300 level second semester classes started. My icon exam was like the next month. Then after my icon exam ended in May something, my school exam was June something. I'm like, hey, Holy Ghost. Spiritual warfare. Remember that at this point of my life I had dropped everything. So my icon classes came to an end and school second semester started. In fact, my econ classes entered school second semester. Now, I said 300 level, everybody says that you are hard, but I will do you in only 2 weeks. I don't know how. So it was quite impossible now at this point to actually be going for my school classes when I was preparing for my professional, because professional is so bulky. It's 5 papers and it's just bulky. And so I remember the day that classes ended, I think we had the whole of April, beginning of May to read, but then there was also school. So I had an option of being able to going to classes and, you know, also reading for my icon. So I started that. I think for like the first 2 weeks I was trying to go to class. It didn't work. I wasn't having time. I was coming back tired and I wanted to pass this icon. So what I did, I kept school aside first. Now I had friends. Hello, I had friends. All the people that are on first class in my department, I packed them. They are my besties. I pack them. Now I know that these people are serious and will go to class and write every note. So even though I wasn't attending class, I knew that there were people attending class on my behalf. Number one, have good community is important. Apart from the fact that these people were literally attending classes on my behalf, I also had friends that were bringing food for me every day. Like, I'm not joking, every day. See, on some days I had excess food. I had to throw some away. I had to give to my roommate. I just had to be giving food to people, because 3 of my friends can bring food for me on one day, 3 different meals, and my mommy will still bring for me. When I was reading, they made it so stress-free. Now, I have good friends though. If you want to do academic, you know, if you're preparing for your icon exams in this season, I was telling one of my friends that any of your friend that does not understand you right now, that thinks that you're too busy, is not a good friend. Have friends that would literally take care of you in that season. My friends literally took care of me, and so it was time to read. So I'm even seeing this was my plan. I'm going to show you guys what I wrote. I was in class. This is my journal. I said I was in icon class, like the last week of icon class. Dear Jesus, I am writing this in class. I am so tired and frustrated. I just want to sleep. I want us to plan my life in school together, Lord, because I was moving to school. Firstly, let's talk about my courses. So I had like about 30 something days to read for the exam. So I divided my SFM. Now, if you know SFM, so now these just tips on reading if you are preparing for professional. If you know SFM is divided into 3 parts. It's divided into MPV, divided into what we call Mr. DM's parts. What we call Mr. DM's parts is a merger and acquisition, business valuation, and then international finance. So I wrote 9 days for my SFM. It's not clear, let me just say 9 days for SFM, 3 days for each of those 3 parts. Now, tax. If you know tax is somehow divided into CIT, PIA, capital allowance, right? And then I wrote 7 days for tax. So 2 days each, then 1 day for all those extra topics. 7 days for tax. Now, CR is also divided into 3. Number 1, group accounts. Number 2, standards. Number 3, others. Now, 3 days for each. So I also wrote 9 days for CR. Now, my audits, I wrote 7 days for audit. Now, the fiscal pass question of audit has 14 diets. It passed 14 diets. So 7 days for audit, reading the audit, and 2 chapters daily of past question, 2 diets daily of past question rather. So if you do 2 diets daily of audit past question, by after 7 days you'd have been done with what? You'd have been done with the entire 14 diets. So that really helped. Basically, what really helped me in my audit was past questions. I read the past 14 diets. Then my case study, I put 4 days because I mean it was just preparing how to write, learning the basic stuff. That's a total of 36 days. 9 times 3, 9 plus 9 plus 7 plus 7 plus 4 is 36 days. So I used 36 days to read for my icon, then I think an extra 4 days for revision or something like that. So 40 days total to prepare for my professional. Now, it was actually, not that easy. How many hours did I read a day? First question, that's a question that people ask. I try to read a minimum of 5 hours daily, and I think maximum of like 10 hours. I think I also have my reading plan here. So this is my reading plan. On Monday, I read 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. I think Monday were my free days. 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. That's already 6 hours. Then I also read 4:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's like 3 hours, 30 minutes. That's 7 hours, 30 minutes. I also read 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's extra 4 hours. That's like, I don't even know. That's like 13 hours on Monday. Then on Tuesday, I read 10:30 to 3:30. That one is just 5 hours. Can you see? Like it depended on my schedule for the days, because I was also trying to attend some school classes here, and I was also trying to mix stuff up basically. And I also had church still. It's not like I completely cut out church. Wednesday I used to read 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. That one is like 7 hours, so that one is okay. Then Thursday was only 2 hours, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. because I think I had like back-to-back classes on Thursday in school. I really can't remember. Then Friday I would read like through the day, and Saturday. So basically I would read minimum of 5 hours a day, maybe maximum of like 13 hours. But the one that was consistent, like maybe daily, was like 7 hours daily, reading like 7 hours. Like I'll just do 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Yes, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's like 7 hours. Yep, I'll just read, take breaks in between. How did I balance my devotion in this season? This video is already 20 minutes. I don't like putting out long videos. How did I balance my devotion? I balance my devotion by doing what we call devotion on the go, something that I was taught as a young believer. So I understood firstly that my reading at that time was worship to God. You can't be praying 6 hours daily when you're preparing for an ICANN exam. You would actually fail. That's the thing. So you have to first of all take advantage of the wisdom of the Holy Ghost. You are wise, bro, so you can't be doing that. Let the Holy Ghost teach you how to balance prayer. So, you know, I would pray in between. So, you know, because you can't read at a go. I can't read at a stretch. You guys, I read 30 minutes and take 10 minutes break. And that 30 minutes take 10 minutes break. So, even the 7 hours, 10 hours, if there's like 10 minutes break after 30 minutes, then you should see how many hours it really is. So, I took breaks, prayer breaks in between, just to make sure that God was, you know, I'm telling God that God, you are here. It's not just me. It's not just me. And something is in my professional class, when I was not understanding, I would just start doing one thing in professional that I made sure I did was to understand every topic that was taught in class. You know, that thing I used to do in skills that I'll not go for class, so I'll go and I'll not understand, and I'll say, oh, I'm getting this when I get home. I never, in professional, asked my classmates. They called me annoying because they will ask me a question. I will raise up my hand. I mean, the tutors will be teaching, and I'll raise up my hand and ask like 100 questions until I understand this. If I don't understand why x is equal to y, we are not moving. No, me and the tutor will not move until I understand why x plus z is y. You will tell me. So that was something that I also did. I made sure that I understood every topic in class. So at the time point I was reading, it was flowing because I actually understood the topics. I understood most of my profession. That's even why I can still remember how to do a number of things in professional, because I actually understood it then. So make sure that you understand topics in class. So praying was in between my reading. Then before I sleep at night, I was going to read my Bible and talk to God, and then go again the next day. I had cut off completely a number of things from my life. Even cooking, things that will take your time, like cooking. See, let me tell you something. Wasting your money when preparing for exam is not wastage. Like, if you can be buying food, if you can afford it. If you cannot, message your friends, put on your status. I put on my status, so it's bringing food for me today, and they will do it. In this life, have great people around you. So maybe your exam season is a testament on if you've been a good friend to people that they cannot be a good friend to you. I don't know, I'm just saying. If you ask people to give you food and nobody is giving you food, there's a problem. Just saying. So I didn't cook at all, at all. My roommates, I was so blessed. My roommates, if I'm washing plates, you say, what are you doing there, Blossom? You can be using that time to read for advanced audit and assurance. You can be using that time to read for SFM. Why are you washing plates? She did not allow me to do anything in the room, like anything. I was just always reading. The only breaks I used to take were prayer breaks, evangelism breaks when I'm going on evangelism, Bible study breaks, and if I had to see people, ministry. Like I told you that I have a ministry, so I had to still see people. So I remember in this book set, you can see Saturday read 10:30 to 3:30, then 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. see 2 people. Like I planned out my seeing people, I planned out my eating time, every single thing. God was faithful. I finished my professional exam in May something. I was still 17 at the time that I wrote my professional exam. Then it was now time to start reading for school. You guys, at this point, I had a complete burnout. And I have to start like rounding up this video, it's too long. I had a complete burnout. Like when I say complete burnout, like I mean that there was no way I could pick up book and read. And one day I just got home. I just got to my OC and I just started crying. I just said, God, I read to my profession. I just said, God, please help me. I don't feel like reading. I don't even want to read. Like, please just help me. and God would just say, pick up the book. I'll be on my bed. So now at this point, I had got to see all my lecturers for makeup tests because I missed my test because of my ICANN exams. That's gonna see all of them for makeup tests. So the next week I had to write like 3 tests. The next week of my ICANN exam, I just said, God just said, pick up the book and be reading on your bed. I just picked it up and I was reading on my bed. You guys, I did excellently well in my test. Like when I'm saying excellent, like something over 30, because test scores came out before exam. Like I was just in 10 something. I said, it's God. I'll be following you. Anywhere you move, anywhere you're going. Because I literally read these things on my bed. I read it on my bed. Like, so I couldn't sit up. It was so hard. But I was always telling God, help me. God, help me. God, help me. And God is always going to bless the hard work, of a man, basically. So I feel like God, I know that God saw the effort and he was just willing to help me. And then God is my dad, God is my father. He told me places to even focus on reading and all of that. So it was in like the next 2 weeks. They pushed school exam by a week. So God did for me. So I had like an extra week to read. I was just like, thank God. So I started reading my friends, and my friends had God bless my friends. All the notes they had, everything I needed. They just tell me, this course, this is what you need, this is what you need, this is what you need to pass. And that's the secret of being in university. It's not really about hard work, it's about smart work. Knowing what your lecturer wants and knowing what they have to, knowing what they want from you, and knowing what you're supposed to read for them, instead of reading the whole world and then now clocking out in exam hall. So I already knew the things to read. Now there were 2 courses that I gave away that I said I was going to have C's in, and I actually had C. Because it was calculation courses, I did not attend any class. Remember, I skipped all my classes because I was reading for my ICANN exam. There's no how if I don't attend a calculation course class, there's no how you want to teach me that I'm going to understand. So I just gave up and said I was going to have C. But the remaining, I said I'm going to pass, because the remaining were written. I said I'm going to read these courses, I'm going to pass. God helped me. I was just reading. All I was in my mind is, Blossom, is going to be over after your school, after this exam. After that, you have like a long holiday and you're going to pass. I just believed God that I was going to pass my professional. And when my professional is gone, I'm going to pass. I'm going to be able to see for 2 months, 3 months. Let me just do all that I can do now. That's what should be motivating you. See, one day is going to end. I'm going to go to all the meetings you want to go to, and nobody's going to be calling that why you're not in ICANN class. You're going to do everything that has a beginning and an end. So just give it your best now. So that's how basically I read. And the last day of exam, I remember the last day of exam, we had a fellowship in my faculty and I was just crying. Like my brain I had broken down. Like once I wrote that exam, I dropped it. So my ICANN results came out on this day. I had 2 papers on the day, 2 school exam papers on the day that my ICANN results was coming out. Hey God. So that first exam, I wrote it to CBT in the morning. I don't even know how it was, but I just wrote it and I just dropped it. The second one was written, and the results was coming out in the afternoon. And I was in the exam in the afternoon. You guys, I don't know. I just wrote everything I could write, full stop it. I just dropped it and I just went to submit. I wasn't done. I didn't go over my work. I just went to submit. I just wanted to really go and check my results. That's how result did not come out too. Hey, result did not come out. I said, God, and I submitted my exam. How did I not? How did I submit that exam? But I done it well. I just did not cross-check or did not do it as well as I was supposed to. But I was just hoping I could still get me an A, which it did. I had an A in that course. Now, fast forward to me getting to my hostel, waiting for result. Result did not drop. Oh my God, this video is too long. Then I'm going to be done at 30 minutes on the dot. Then that's how I was waiting for, when I was waiting for results. And I got to my hostel and now slept. 12 a.m. I just woke up 12 a.m. on the dot. I don't know why. I just woke up 12 a.m. on the dot. Then I just saw missed calls from my friends. I said, this is here. I just saw my other friend, Josephine, my girl. I just saw her message. She was like, she passed. I was like, God, I beg. Then I saw some from my other friends. So they were like, oh, they did not pass all. I'm like, God, I'm in trouble. So 12 a.m. I opened my second phone. I was shaking. One of the happiest days of my life. I just broke down in tears on the floor. I was just crying. I woke my roommate up. I said, she said, why are you crying? What happened? She didn't even first understand because she was just waking up. It didn't click. She was like, oh my God, all of us saying shouting. Our next door people, they heard. I called my daddy. My daddy said me that I'm crying. He's like, what happened to you? And it's midnight. I'm like, Daddy, I passed. I'm shattered. Daddy, your kid is shattered. My mom just started shouting from her room. My daddy just started saying my daddy sang all night, like he did not sleep. I say I'm shattered at 80. Then it was a good time. Fast forward to school results coming out. To my 300 level results was even better than 200 level. Was better than 100. No, because this is my first 300 level. Was the time I had like the first C, so I cannot say it's better than 100 level. But it was so good. Like, it was a good result overall. Like, apart from the C, the many ones were like A's, 1B here and all of that. So it was good. It was good, and that was how like I did my school. And I'm a chartered accountant, and I'm going to come back and make another video when I graduate to the first class. Jesus name, fire. Alright, see you guys in my next video. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you learned something. I know this video is long, but I just really hope that it's worth it, and I hope that you guys watch it to the end. You can watch it in 1.5x or 2x, even though I already talk fast, but I don't know. I hope that I kept you engaging. So this is the story of how I got chartered at 18, how I also balanced it with school. And if there's any other thing that you want to see, let me know in the comment section. Peace out. Bye guys, love you. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share.